Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Burquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Burquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Burquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Drilled deep to right field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is gone. A bullet home run into the second deck as the Yankees go back-to-back to take a 3-0 lead. The 1-2. There's a swing, and that one, if it stays fair, ends it. Fair ball. And the Rangers win it in the 10th.
Mauricio
Chaz, what's the ball doing?
First one of 25 is off the community leaderboard. Chaz-manian Devil circling the bases at 5-2 Astros.
The rest of the way, but
here goes Yelich. Right center. It's deep. It is gone. Christian Yelich goes deep. And an inside-out swing and a base hit to right. Teodosio scores. Neto comes in. Mike Trout, a 2-run single. The Angels are up 4-0.
All right, lots of baseball highlights last night. No highlights from the Guardians because they did not play, but we get back to action tonight against the Marlins. 6:40 first pitch at Progressive Field. Game one of a big, that's right, I just said it, a big 3-game series with the Marlins coming up tonight. Then the Braves come to town. And then things are starting to heat up a little bit. Right now, 61-56, Guardians 6.5 out behind Detroit. Tigers eked out a win last night to win their second in a row. Welcome into the Sam Burquin Show, everybody. AM 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, you can always watch and listen to us do our thing on the WDPN X page or Twitter page, whichever you prefer, on the 1310 WDPN Facebook page. We're on live right there, too. And you can watch and listen and comment on the Q92 radio page on YouTube. How we doing? Got to show you something here real quick. I brought a special cup in today because I do drink a lot of water. And I usually have my Buckeye thermos, cooler, whatever you want to call it. But today I thought, in celebration of somebody getting their 8th moving violation ticket last night, I figured we'd bring this in today. There it is. You got a good look at that? That's my Myles Garrett cup. See that? I'll turn it around. There he is with the helmet on. Defensive end, Cleveland Browns. I walked in today with it, and Keller says, "Hey, you better drink that fast." Ba-dum-bum. How about that yesterday again? Now, I'm trying to get confirmation here. Was it his 7th or 8th incident since he's been with the Cleveland Browns, since he was picked overall number 1 in 2017? Last I saw, this was the 8th time Garrett has been cited for speeding in Cleveland. Remember a couple years ago, he rolled his car over, almost killed himself, almost killed a passenger. But it's okay. It's just a ticket. We all speed. This was a lot of you last night on social media. I can't believe how flippant some of you are. Some of you. And then finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to post. I had to make a post last night on social media. I couldn't take it anymore. This laissez-faire, flippant attitude about a dude who's picked up his 8th speeding ticket. Oh, just get to the quarterback. That's all that matters. It's just a speeding ticket. We all do it. Sam, why don't you worry about something else? Get off of him. And I was like, you know what? At about 9 o'clock last night, I said, I'm done. I can't take this anymore. So I took to the keyboard last night. I'm going to read you my post, and then I'm going to read you some of the reactions and some of the comments. And then I thought today, maybe it'll die down a little bit. Nope. So we had to make that our Sam Burquin Show poll question of the day. And we'll get into that too as well. But if you missed it last night, Myles Garrett cited for driving over 100 miles an hour at about 2 o'clock in the morning Saturday in Strongsville. Stopped for going a little bit over 100 miles an hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone. He was hit with a $250 ticket, and he can pay it without going to court. Okay. We do know the Browns got back in Cleveland a little bit before that when they left Carolina because they had their preseason game against the Panthers on Friday night. And Myles decided to rev it up about 101, 102 miles an hour and got caught. 8th time he's been cited for speeding.
You know, Sam, I don't know a lot about this stuff because I don't get caught speeding all the time. But don't you get points on your license for a speeding ticket?
See, that's... Yes.
I'm curious how he still has his driver's license at this point.
I am too. Now, this is over again, since he came to the Browns in 2017, this is his 8th citation. And remember, he also flipped his Porsche. Remember in 2022, speeding? And I remember seeing the picture of the Porsche all crumpled and thought, how did anybody even survive that? You would think that would have been enough of a wake-up call to Myles to tone it down. Oh, Sam, we all speed. Don't you speed? Okay, we all speed, I guess. But do we all go 40 miles an hour over the speed limit, you idiots? Yeah, I speed 7 or 8 miles an hour over. Or maybe if I'm in Michigan, where it's a free-for-all, I'll go about 12, 13 miles per hour over the limit. Now, I'm not driving a Lamborghini or a Porsche or whatever these guys drive. Yeah, I just got me a regular old Jeep Grand Cherokee. Okay, I'm not out there drag racing. And yeah, I've been pulled over for speeding before. Not 40 miles an hour over the limit at 2 o'clock in the morning after I've been popped 7 times before. How dumb do you have to be? Please tell me, Myles, you're not that dumb. And all you enablers and supporters and apologists, get off of him. It's just a ticket. Just get to the quarterback, Myles. Worry about something else. Don't you have anything else to do but pick on Myles? What am I missing here? What am I not seeing? This is the 8th time. Bro, be a leader. Be accountable. I don't know. Show other guys on the team how to do it, how to behave, how to carry yourself. I get it. You like to go fast. Go to the Autobahn in Germany. Or go out to New Mexico on whatever it is when there's nothing and go drive out there. How many times is it going to take before it's too late? Where's the common sense here? And why does everybody just go, it's not a big deal? It is a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. And then what are you all going to say? Then what? And I don't mean to get on here and hammer Myles Garrett, but man, what What are we doing? It's another NFL season. You've got a preseason game in your pocket. You only got a couple more to go. Then we're going to start the regular season the first week of September. Yeah, I know there's not great expectations. You just signed a big fat contract after you threatened them, the organization, and you wanted to be traded during Super Bowl week. That worked out for you. So you got your money, you got your contract. Not enough. You got to go out and speed. Oh, Sam, it's just a speeding ticket. Don't you speed? Please help me understand. Help me understand why this is okay.
I think one speeding ticket, maybe two, is passable, but 8 is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you get busted a couple of times, okay. Again, were you going 10 miles over the speed limit, or were you going 40? Like, Miles doesn't get cheated on his tickets. He's getting his money's worth in his speeding worth. On Facebook last night, here we go again with the self-righteous brigade out in full force. No one needs to apologize for a grown man getting a speeding ticket. Literally thousands of speeding tickets are given every single day. When did speeding tickets become a thing? Oh, I don't know. Maybe after you've had 7? In 7 years? And you're a high-profile athlete? You're a face of the franchise? You flipped your car a couple years ago and almost died? I don't know. Maybe that's when it became a thing. Sam, you people, you journalists, you media, just love to hold water for the owners that committed bigger crimes than speeding. Keep defending giving Ohio tax money for nothing. Speeding tickets happen. I don't speed, but he got the ticket and he will pay the fine, whatever. Do you want him to be cut over it? I didn't know people were this triggered about it one way or the other. Just another day for the organization. Finally, Sammy, it's unbelievable. How can anybody defend this level of irresponsible behavior? Both the public and the team ownership. Same team and fan base that can't cut ties with Watson. At what point does the doing the right thing supersede money and ignorance? Sam, don't worry about it. Find something else to complain about. Sam, he could have died a couple of years ago when he crashed on Route 94 in Sharon Township, going way too fast in his Porsche. We live near that road. Now he is 100 miles an hour in a Ferrari. Needs to have his driver's license suspended. He's going to hurt somebody or unfortunately kill somebody else down the road. Come on, Miles. You're better than that. I thought you were better than that. 8 times. Why the, Miles, it's okay. Just a speeding ticket. We all speed. We all go 40 miles an hour over. We all drive 117. We drive 104. We all do it. Don't we? No, we don't. No, we don't. And how many times does it take? Again, you get popped a couple of times. I get it. We've all been pulled over a couple of times. But we don't play defensive end for the Cleveland Browns. We didn't just sign a contract for $100 gazillion million after threatening the organization. I want out. Oh, you're going to pay me this? Okay, I'll stay. I like it. I never really wanted to leave in the first place. And you know what? At the end of the day, since Myles Garrett was the number 1 overall pick in 2017, man alive, 8 years ago. You know what? You know what we've won with Myles Garrett? Nothing. We haven't won anything with Myles Garrett. The Edwin Encarnacion of the Cleveland Browns, putting up 5 and 6 sacks in a 30 or 40-point ball game. How about getting me one when it's 3rd and 14 when I need you? How about that? Yeah, I know. Strip sacks, fumble recoveries. I'm sure those all came at key moments in the game where the football game turned on that particular play. 8 citations. All going ridiculously way over the speed limit. How many times is it going to take? Are the Browns going to do anything? Are they even going to talk to him? Have they talked to him? Has anybody reached out from the organization? Myles, you got to knock this off. You got to. And people have been responding, well, why doesn't he get an Uber? No, Uber and Lyft, that has nothing to do with anything. He's not, as far as we know, he's not under the influence. He's just speeding like a maniac. So that the getting a ride from some service doesn't fall in here. This is just him getting in the car and hitting the gas as fast as he can. Has anybody reached out to him and said, hey, anybody else on the team, anybody in the organization, Jimmy and Dee Haslam maybe? I don't know. Gee, maybe. Andrew Barry, Kevin Stefanski, somebody else on the team? Like, I don't know, Denzel, Myles, come on. We need you. What are you doing? Why do you keep doing this? It's just like what bothers me, it just appears that he just doesn't care. He doesn't care, or he wouldn't keep doing it. Sam Burquin Show poll question of the day. Your reaction to the Myles Garrett in his 8th road violation since becoming a member of the Browns. A, no big deal. B, an alarming pattern. C, that's not how a leader acts. D, the Browns need to address the issue now. What are your thoughts? 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. You can also text us at 330-924-7088. And you can drop us a comment on the Q92 radio page on YouTube. We'll read all the comments, good, bad, or indifferent, on the air this afternoon. By the way, Fred Greetham, he'll be coming on at 3:35 today from the Orange and Brown Report as the Browns and Eagles will get ready to roll for their joint practices this week and then the preseason game in Philly Saturday at 1 p.m. So we'll talk to Fred Greetham about all this nonsense coming up here in about 15 minutes or so. Get the Guardians Marlins coming up tonight. We'll take a look at the college football, the AP Top 25. The Buckeyes are now 3rd behind Texas and Penn State. We'll take a look at some of the teams that might have a little sneaky shot of maybe winning the national championship this year. More schedule leaks from the NBA. Cavs fans, you're going to be happy. We also have On This Day in Sports History. And, of course, we'll get back into our poll question of the day. We'll take a quick break and come back on 1310 WDPN.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
ugh, come on.
Seriously? This is so extra.
But what you could say is,
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your local State Farm agent is available when and where you need them, online, over the phone, or even in person. State Farm agents are here to answer your questions and help you file your claim.
This is so extra.
Get someone who can actually help. Contact State Farm agent Rich Plack today.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
Teachers need tons of help.
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Hey, did you miss us? We weren't gone that long, right? News and weather coming up here in just a few minutes here on AM 1310 WDPN. Sam Burquin Show, poll question of the day. Your reaction to Myles Garrett's 8th road violation since being with the Browns? A, no big deal. B, an alarming pattern. C, that's not how a team leader acts. D, the Browns need to address this issue immediately. That's up on our Facebook pages. Now, if you want to take the poll question quiz on X at AM 1310 WDPN or the Sam Burquin page, so far, 36% say it's not how a leader acts. 32%, not a big deal. Unbelievable. 18%, an alarming pattern. 14% say Browns need to address it. I can't believe 32% of you say that it's not a big deal. Maybe I should. I don't know. You think this team's going to the Super Bowl every year? I guess 8 speeding violations. I guess that's not a big deal. Again, what am I missing here? How many times? How many times is it going to happen until something really bad happens? And then what are you all going to say? Okay. Go back and look at his Porsche that flipped in 2022. You tell me. Tell me if Myles Garrett actually gives a crap when he's out on the road. You tell me. News and weather coming up here in just a minute. Stay with us. The Sam Burquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Fred Greetham from the Orange and Brown Report coming up at 3:35. Stay with us.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro appeared today alongside local leaders and the CEO of U.S. Steel in Clairton, the site of Monday's plant explosion. 2 people were killed in the blast. Shapiro stressed steelworkers have a dangerous job and vowed to get to the bottom of what caused the explosion.
We owe them an answer for what happened. We owe them the answers to their questions, and we owe them to never forget the sacrifices that occurred here yesterday.
Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser and Metropolitan Police Chief Pam Smith briefed reporters today following their meeting with Attorney General Pam Bondi. Today's meeting comes after President Trump announced plans to take over the Washington, D.C. Police Department and deploy National Guard troops to the city to combat crime. The mayor and police chief both stressed they have a collaborative working relationship with the federal government. Bowser added she and Smith have final say over control of the police department's staffing and operations.
What I'm focused on is the federal surge and how to make the most of the additional officer support that we have.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt expanded on President Trump's social media post, indicating that a lawsuit might be forthcoming on the Federal Reserve's $2.5 billion renovation project. During today's news briefing, Leavitt said that Trump is weighing whether, as president, he should sue the U.S. Central Bank. Leavitt went on to say the president is considering a lawsuit against the Fed, and I will leave it to him to comment further on it. Israel is in talks with South Sudan about the possibility of resettling Palestinians from the Gaza Strip to the war-torn East African country. It appears to be part of a wider effort by Israel to facilitate mass emigration from the territory left in ruins by Israel's 22-month offensive against Hamas. 6 people familiar with the matter confirmed the talks to the Associated Press. It's unclear how far the discussion has advanced, but the plans, if implemented, would amount to transferring people from one war-ravaged land at risk of famine to another and raise human rights concerns. Israel has floated similar resettlement proposals with other African nationals, including Sudan and Somalia. Spirit Airlines is indicating it may be going out of business. More from ABC's Alex Stone.
Just months after Spirit Airlines emerged from bankruptcy, it's warning investors there is, quote, substantial doubt the airline can stay in business within the next year. According to a new SEC filing, Spirit reports it has continued to be affected by adverse market conditions and weaker demand for domestic leisure travel this year. It says it's tried introducing a premium economy option to make money and pilot furloughs, but it hasn't been enough. The airline saying it may have to sell off planes to make money.
It's 90 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
This afternoon's forecast calling for sunshine with a high near 90 degrees. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly after midnight, a low around 69. For Wednesday, 80% chance of showers, possibly a thunderstorm, a high near 84. Thursday, slight chance of showers, mostly sunny, a high near 84. Chance of rain, 20%. For Friday, more sunshine and a high near 88. That's your WDPN weather.
Welcome back to the Sam Burquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can also text the show at 330-924-7088. Fred Greetham, Orange and Brown Report, coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Yeah, we'll be talking about Myles Garrett. We'll be talking about the joint practices with the Philadelphia Eagles. And we'll take a look back at what happened in Carolina just a little bit, since it's been a couple of days now since that has come and gone. But man alive, what's your reaction to Myles Garrett again? The eighth time. The eighth time he's been popped with a citation for speeding. Sam, that's his eighth. He got a $250 ticket. How does he have a license? Sam, who cares? Simple misdemeanor. Not a big deal. Uh, 19 years of season tickets from Dayton. Never speed through Strongsville, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning. Sam, who cares? Sam, it's a speeding ticket. Who cares? Mind your own business. Let's see. This is his sixth ticket in Ohio since 18. How many in other states? If it was me, I'd be in jail and my license would be revoked. Sam, he can afford it. Don't worry about it. What does being able to afford paying a ticket have to do with the stupidity of getting it 8 times? I don't, what again? I'm literally crying for help at the pulpit. What am I not seeing here? The fact in a poll question that we're doing right now at AM 1310 WDPN. Also at Sam Burquin 16 on X and on Facebook, 32% of you, it's not a big deal. It makes me wonder about some of you and the lives you lead. 32%, not a big deal. That's his eighth one. Don't worry about it. Just get to the quarterback, Myles. It's okay. We still love you, buddy. Just get to the quarterback. We don't care how many times you speed. Don't worry about it. Okay. I'm just having a hard time with this one. I don't know. I want to understand, but I can't. I want to understand this, but I can't. Help me out. I am literally imploring you for help to help me understand why 33% of you just shrug this off and it's just no big deal. I don't get it. Let's check in with Fred Greetham. Orange and Brown Report, kind enough to join us here on the Sam Burquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN, fresh off of a visit to Carolina. Got to see a little football, got to spend some time with family, and Fred joining us here on this Tuesday afternoon. Mr. Greetham, how are you this afternoon?
Oh, I'm kind of hot, but I'm doing pretty good.
It is. It's 92. It's boiling right now. Now, please tell me that you drove the speed limit to and from wherever you had to go today.
I always do.
All right, good to hear. All right, Fred, I'm having a big problem here. There seems to be a lot of enablers and apologists for Myles Garrett on his reported 7th or maybe 8th citation since he's been with the Browns. Speeding tickets, flipping his Porsche in 2022. And a lot of people think I'm just ganging up on Myles, and I'm not. I'm just trying to understand why this is just brushed off. What are your thoughts on when you found out what happened when the news came out and some of the comments that have been made since? Where do you stand there, Fred?
Well, I mean, here's a guy that was about 3 years ago that very close to his life, but burn. When you saw some of the pictures, you wonder how he was able to get out of there alive.
Right.
So you would think that enough would be enough to, cause you to be much more safe behind the wheel. But I don't know. I don't know what makes these guys go. I think Jimmy Haslam, maybe with that 180 acres before they break ground out there, should put a big oval
right.
and let them all go out there and get it out of their system.
I just don't get the flippant attitude of the Browns fans. Oh, Sam, it's just a speeding ticket. We all do it. Who cares? This and that and the other. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just not wired that way. Have the Browns talked to him? Do you know about? Did they talk to him after the Porsche incident? Have they talked to him about the constant speeding tickets? Or they just kind of let this go?
I'm sure they do. They have people in their building that, that instruct them, talk to them. But, I don't know. I mean, you think about Shadur Sanders less than a month ago had two of these, and here's the guy that you paid $160 million to kind of be the example, even if he isn't a vocal, leader, more of a, lead by example guy. And you wanted that to carry over not only on the field, but also off the field. So, yeah, I'm sure they talked to him, but, when he's in that car and he's wanting to get home, I guess he puts his 270 pound on his foot and gets there quicker, or thinks he'll get there quicker. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of cultural type of thing, that sometimes these guys just think they're invincible, and I understand, he might be able to handle that speed, but any other car swerves or anything happens,
right.
You're not going to get another chance.
Yeah, and driving on 71, I mean, I don't care what time of day it is. I mean, who knows what a deer could run out there in front. I mean, I don't know. It just perplexes me that it's just met with such flippancy within the fan base that this is just okay. I don't get it.
I know it's not DUI, but
right.
They have stiffer things with that. If the reports are true that it's just a $250 fine, you don't have to even show up. I mean, that's like a nickel to you and me.
Right.
So, it's got just have to have maybe some of your personal conduct carries over the NFL, even to speeding and so forth. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, long term, but I know one thing I get tired of talking about off the field,
right.
Domestic abuse,
right.
Speeding, DUIs, and all these things that go with it.
We lead the league in that nonsense. I've had people ask me about how does he even still have a license in the state of Ohio with all these citations. I have no idea. All right, Fred, let's talk about something positive. And I know it was a couple of days ago, but I haven't had a chance to chat with you about it. But you were down in Charlotte, and I'm sure you heard the roars of the crowd. You saw all the Shadur jerseys in the crowd that night, and a pretty good performance by the young fella against the Panthers. What kind of a grade would you give Shadur, and what did you like most about his first time under the bright lights?
Well, I think that the moment wasn't too big for him, and I think that's where the advantage of growing up the son of Deion Sanders, he's been in the spotlight his whole life, whether he wanted to be or not, that he was able to, step out there and perform. I saw him take what he had been doing in practice and kind of take it into the game. And I was encouraged. I mean, I thought, listen, I wrote about it Friday before the game. I said, either way, if he goes out and falls flat on his face, it'll be the biggest overreaction that you could imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And it could go, if he plays lights out, it will be the other biggest overreaction. So it's somewhere in the middle. He is showing that he has the potential to be the answer at quarterback, but I'm not ready to anoint that, after one preseason game. A lot to like about it. You could see some tendencies that caused him to drop in the draft, that he's working on, but he's getting better. But you definitely saw the accuracy. You saw, decision making and the game. I mean, the results, it's a results-oriented business. He had 9 drives. He had 3 touchdowns. I mean, that would be a season for the Browns quarterbacks in recent years. So, I think it's a good showing. I'm anxious to see him follow up this week. You're going kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. The Panthers were a team kind of like the Browns last year, but here you got the Super Bowl champions coming up. You'll probably be going up against their backups, but their backups are probably better than what you saw last week. So it will be interesting. And I think it puts a little pressure on Dylan Gabriel, step up and show what he can do.
When I was talking on the show the day or two before, and I was laying out a little plan of like what I was looking for and, getting the guys in and out of the huddle, getting the play called, getting a little rhythm to the offense, watching his facial and body, his language with the coaches, with the other guys on the team, just looking like a pro football team your first time out there. And I didn't care if we won or lost the game or, if he had an 80-yard drive or a 2-yard drive. I just wanted to see like the intangible part. And I was pretty pleased with all that for the most part.
Yeah, the pre-snap and some of the penalties now. When the first team was going against the Panthers in practice, Joe Flacco was kind of upset about it because they were very sloppy. They had false starts and so forth. But the 2s and 3s that played in that game, and I think that was one of the points that they have emphasized with Sanders is the pre-snap and getting everybody in position. He's never had to do that because he's really never, played in that type of a system under center. It's been more, out of the shotgun and hurry up and so forth. And so I think that really bode well for him. And so I'm anxious to, like I said, see him again, see if he can stack another, good performance together. And, when you think, Sam, the Hall of Fame game in Dorian Thompson-Robinson's year, they had the extra game down there and he lit it up and everybody's like, oh boy, they've got something here, in the 5th round. And so we all know, it kind of came down to earth, in a hurry. And so I just think the Browns are doing this right. I've seen it so long. I know a lot of people want to throw him out there, but you got a guy like Joe Flacco who's been there, done that. You always can turn it over to somebody else, the younger guys, but let's not throw them out there before their time. Give them a chance to grow and develop, and that's what the preseason's about.
100% agree. Fred Greetham is our guest. Orange and Brown Report. Check him out on X at Fred Greetham9, at Fred Greetham9. Also on other social media platforms as well, Facebook and the like. Fred, so they got him listed at 4 on the depth chart, which I thought was, there. You talked about sticking to the plan, and how many times we've seen the plan take a turn for whatever reason, and whatever they started to build short term, middle term, kind of went right out the window. I agree as well. I like how they're handling this situation and not overreacting one way or the other. What are they expecting to see? What are they hoping to see out of Shedeur in the joint practices with Philly this week?
Well, I think, the practices, he'll get some reps. I think Gabriel and him will get reps in 11-on-11s, probably against the 2s and 3s. But they're going to have the chance to play in the game Saturday. I think the whole game will be Gabriel and Sanders, and maybe Huntley sprinkled in at the end, because Stefanski has emphasized, just like last week, they look at these 2 practices. In fact, I think these two practices with the Eagles are probably the apex of training camp because, like I said, you're going with your first team offense against their first team defense and vice versa for 2 days to be able to see where you stack up. I think Nick Sirianni and Kevin Stefanski have a good relationship, and they know what they each want to come out of this practice with, to evaluate and see where they're at. And then the game is just going to be for the, frankly, the second and third guys, kind of like what you saw in the Carolina game. And so I'm going to pay attention to those practices and see, who's out there, who's performing well. And I think the offensive line, this is going to be a chance for them to go against that vaunted Eagles defensive line and to see if they can get a push and get the running game going a little bit, play action pass with Flacco and so forth. So as far as the same thing with Sanders and Gabriel, I expect them, and when they get their turns, it'll be interesting to see if they give either of them any reps with the first team. To date, Shedeur has not had any 11-on-11 reps with the Browns first team offense. He's had some against the Browns first team defense, but Gabriel has. But it'll be interesting how they handle it in the next 2 days.
I think one of the things I'm looking at too, Fred, is how some of the other rookie class handles these joint practices with Philly. A great organization, a great team, very well coached. They've won Super Bowls. Just the step up from going against Carolina and guys like Schlesinger and Dylan Sampson and those guys. I really want to see how they reacted this week too.
Yeah, I was impressed with Mason Graham and Carson Schlesinger. I think they're going to be big additions. I mean, just the little time they were out there, Graham was pushing the pile. He was getting double teamed. I think on the third play of the game, he was being double teamed, and he was pushing the pile. And Schlesinger, so far, has been what he's been billed. He had 6 tackles in the limited time he was in there. And so I think for this, if those two guys can make an impact as rookies, I think this defense has a chance to really be good. They've lost 3 starters before the season started, and Schlesinger can go a long way to ease the blow of losing JOK and Jordan Hicks and Martin Emerson as well. So, yeah, it will be. I think the defense, the secondary concerns me a little bit, because of the lack of depth. But I think if the defensive line, is the engine that Jim Schwartz talks about, they can cover up a multitude of mistakes by having the quarterback on his heels. That helps a lot of people cover if they don't have to cover him as long.
Do you think any of the frontliners will play Saturday, or they're going to just kind of take the same approach they did against Carolina?
But the frontliners are going to play Wednesday and Thursday. I'd be very surprised. I thought maybe DeJuan Jones would get a little look, the other night, but he didn't. So there was some of those guys, like Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire, guys that maybe aren't entrenched. They're young guys that'll probably be starters or so forth. But for the most part, I think it will be very similar to what you saw in Carolina. A lot of young guys. And frankly, when you have 90 on the roster and only 53 end up on the final, most of the second half will be guys that are playing for jobs and probably won't be here when the final roster is made.
Fred Greetham is our guest. Orange and Brown Report at Fred Greetham 9 on social media platforms. Fred, I was thinking a couple of days ago, these joint practices seem to be, I guess I'll just say, growing in popularity with the teams and organizations and how they get their work in and the environment and just the way that things flow and the work that you can get done. And I just had a crazy thought. Is it crazy for me to think that, I don't know, down the road sometime, and I'm talking maybe 15, 20 years down the road, that's all you're going to have is joint practices? Teams are going to link up 2 or 3 times over the period. There won't be any more preseason games. Is that crazy?
Well, I do think that's the coaches like that because they can control the situations they want to, put people in situations, and obviously, to be frank, why do the star players not play in these games? Because they don't want them to get hurt. They could get hurt in practice, but especially with the quarterbacks, you can, they won't get hit in the Philly joint practices, and you can protect your guys, with that controlled environment. I think the biggest reason you wouldn't do away with the preseason games is money, because the last time I checked, those preseason games, are part of the season
ticket packages. Yep.
And, the other night, especially after they announced Shador was going to start, I mean, there was tickets for preseason games, a couple $100 or more, which usually you could get for $5, as you walk in up there. So, somebody had to pay the full face value, to get season tickets because they include the preseason. So, I don't know. They can always figure something out or work something out. But I do think that the joint practices are really what that's really all the teams are doing it now. And it's for that control and getting the work exactly. You get in the game, you can't determine. There might not be a 2-minute situation. There might not be a hurry up situation. And they can do all that in their practice.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. I just noticed a lot more teams are doing it, and there might be a scuffle here and there, but that's okay. Guys are getting hot. It's humid out. They're getting a little antsy with one another, but I do think the work they're getting in is pretty much more important than what they're doing during the actual preseason game. Fred, always appreciate the time. Glad you had a safe trip back from Carolina, and we'll see what happens this Saturday in Philly. We'll call upon you here soon, and we'll continue to talk Browns. I always appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
All right, Sam. Thank you for having me on.
You bet. Fred Greetham, Orange and Brown Report. Check him out at Fred Greetham 9 on X, at Fred Greetham 9. Yeah. Once we got into the conversation about Shador and the rookies and the joint practices in Carolina, that's fun to talk about. It's not fun to talk about stuff off the field, Myles Garrett and speeding tickets and guys breaking the law and, all that stuff. It just wears on you.
We had a Facebook comment while you were talking to Fred in relation to Myles Garrett from Jim on Facebook that said he's not fighting dogs. So Jim has a point. It could be worse.
The old Michael Vick reference there. Yeah. Well, hey, if everybody if people think that it's okay to just keep racking up, speeding tickets and violations and flipping cars and okay, that's fine. You can think that way. It's not very smart. It just isn't. All right. Thanks to Fred Greetham. If you missed that interview, you just jumped in with us. It'll be up on our 1310 WDPN social media platforms a little bit after the show comes to a conclusion. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. It's the Sam Burquin Show on a Tuesday, 1310 WDPN.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Grab your trowels and dig into the past at Spring Hill Historic Homes Archaeology Day on Saturday, August 16th from 10 till 4. You can be an archaeologist for the day. Explore 2 active dig sites, sift and screen to reveal artifacts, learn real archaeology techniques, and enjoy family-friendly fun, including a kids station, scavenger hunt, and self-guided tours of the historic home. Uncover hidden history and experience hands-on discovery for all ages. Tickets are $15 for adults and $10 for youth ages 6 through 16. Children 5 and under are free. Come play in the dirt with us at Spring Hill Historic Home, where history is just beneath the surface.
I want to thank Fred Greetham from the Orange and Brown Report for talking Browns with us here on the show, 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, you can always watch and listen on the 1310 WDPN Facebook page, our X page, and the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Sam Burquin Show, poll question of the day. Myles Garrett, 8th ticket since he's been with the Cleveland Browns. 8th speeding ticket. What's your reaction? A, no big deal. B, it's an alarming pattern. C, that's not how a leader acts. Or D, the Browns need to address this issue ASAP. Where do you fall there? Where do you fall there? Let's check out our latest results on X. Right now, still 36%, not how a leader acts. 32%, not a big deal. 18%, it's an alarming pattern. 14% say the Browns need to address the problem. All right. So the Browns are in the city of brotherly love this week. Couple of joint practices with former Purple Raider standout and Coach Sirianni and Kevin Stefanski getting together for a couple of days, getting some work in. Oh, it's hot in Philly. I just checked the forecast a couple minutes ago. It's like 92, 93, very, very high humidity. So they'll be getting some work done. And then the game is Saturday at 1 p.m. But don't expect to see many frontliners on Saturday afternoon. And then you got the Rams are coming up. I think that's the third preseason game. And then you get that that little 6, 7, 8 day window there, and then the Bengals in the season opener. But a lot of things to be settled between now and then. And what's that quarterback room going to look like? What's the final quarterback room going to look like before the opener against the Bengals? They can't possibly keep 4. They can't. But they might. News and weather coming up next on the Sam Burquin Show. Stay with us, everybody. 2 more big hours to go. 1310 WDPN.
An Alliance tradition for over half a century. You can always count on WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. National Guard troops federalized by President Trump are being mobilized to assist police in Washington, D.C. The president taking control of local law enforcement in the District of Columbia, he says, to curb crime. The plan includes dealing with D.C.'s homeless population.
The president has vowed to clear out D.C.'s homeless encampments and to, quote, try to take care of those who've been living on the street. Pressed for details, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said officials will begin enforcing laws that have long been on the books. Those in tents or on sidewalks will be offered options.
To be taken to a homeless shelter, to be offered addiction or mental health services, and if they refuse, they will be susceptible to fines or to jail time.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Extreme heat leading to record temperatures on both coasts. Residents in Oregon seeing rare temperatures up in the upper 90s. And in the Midwest, smoke drifting down from Canada wildfires leading to poor air quality and health alerts. This is ABC News.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. The Stark County Sheriff's Office says a female inmate died this morning. The 76-year-old had been behind bars since June 14th and had a history of health issues. After a scheduled court hearing today, the woman said she didn't feel well and was taken to the jail's medical clinic for evaluation. While undergoing treatment, she appeared to suffer cardiac arrest. Clinic and jail staff continued life-saving measures until Canton firefighters arrived. The inmate was taken to Mercy Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. An investigation is underway. A woman is in critical condition after she fell from a boat into Myers Lake. The Stark County Sheriff's Office says it happened Monday night near the marina. First responders were called to the Myers Lake Sportsman's Club on North Park Avenue Northwest just after 7 p.m. The 78-year-old woman nearly drowned before being rescued. She was transported to Altman Hospital, then transferred to the intensive care unit. Her name has not been released. The incident is under investigation. Shareholders will soon consider a proposal to take the owner and operator of the Hall of Fame Village private. In a filing with the SEC, Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment says a special meeting for the vote will be held September 16th. The company would merge with Omaha Merger Sub, a subsidiary of Industrial Realty Group, and become a wholly owned subsidiary of HOFV Holdings, LLC. Industrial Realty is owned by Stuart Lichter, a majority shareholder of Hall of Fame Resort. The Hall of Fame Resort's board of directors recommended going private. NASDAQ delisted the company's stock in June after it didn't hold an annual shareholder meeting on time. Canton City Council has approved a monthly fee of $3.75 for utility fees aimed at addressing stormwater and flooding. The repository reports Monday's action means the fee will affect single-family homes, duplexes, and triplexes within the city. Larger apartment buildings and commercial and industrial properties will be assessed the same monthly fee for each 2,750 square feet, up to a maximum of $325. A 20% credit will be given to owners of non-single-family sites if they use measures to improve stormwater quality and reduce water runoff. The fee is expected to generate roughly $2 million in revenue per year. It will be used to upgrade and maintain Canton's stormwater drainage system. Canton water customers outside the city limits will not be assessed the fee. The Louisville School Board Monday welcomed new hires. WDPN's David Schur has more.
Superintendent Michelle Schaefer gave brief bios on newly hired staff members, including 4 teachers, 2 cooks, and a proctor to serve beginning August 14. The board greatly appreciated the $23,278 in donations benefiting several athletic-related groups, the summer lunch program, and the backpack program. They also agreed to the school bus stops. Information on was emailed and postcard sent to 3,000 students. And they announced classes starting August 20th and that no classes will be held on August 29 and September 1st in recognition of Labor Day.
Family members of the victims filed a lawsuit over a house explosion in Columbiana County. The suit, filed in common pleas court, names Eichler LP Gas owner Gary Eichler and an employee. The August 2023 blast destroyed the home in the 500 block of Wells Hollow Road in Yellow Creek Township. A man, a woman, and a 14-year-old girl in the home were treated at hospitals in Pittsburgh for severe injuries. The suit alleges the employee filled the home's propane tank without realizing it was empty due to a leak in the external distribution system. It also says filling the tank introduced propane into the home's piping, which began leaking into the residence. The suit seeks damages in excess of $25,000. Autopsies will be performed tomorrow for 2 people discovered dead inside a Howland Township home. Police say their bodies were found Monday night in the 500 block of Mines Road. The Trumbull County Coroner's Office says they are 1 adult male and 1 juvenile male. Investigators do not suspect foul play. The names and ages of the deceased have not been released. Police continue to investigate. An arraignment is scheduled tomorrow for a man who threatened to shoot an employee at Hollywood Gaming Casino in Austintown Sunday morning. 69-year-old Alfad Muhammad of North Jackson reportedly said someone at Sportsbook made him lose $15,000 on a horse race. He was escorted out of the casino by security. Muhammad is accused of later failing to pull over, leading police on a chase and pointing a gun out of his car. Officers ended the pursuit. He was arrested Monday and charged with aggravated menacing, intimidation, and failure to comply. Muhammad is wanted in Washington, D.C. for making terroristic threats. Boardman police say a woman was highly intoxicated, unable to stand, and slurring her speech when officers spotted her Friday night. The incident occurred at the Paranormal Cirque, which was held outside Southern Park Mall. She is accused of becoming combative with officers. One of them suffered a knee injury. The woman was cuffed and transported to a hospital. She allegedly fought with officers and nurses. The woman was released the next day and arrested. She was arraigned today on charges of obstructing official business, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct. A pretrial hearing is scheduled for August 26th. The woman's boyfriend said she was on medication at the time of the incident, but later admitted they both had taken psychedelic mushrooms. It's 90 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
Sunshine in the forecast for this afternoon. Very warm, a high near 90 degrees. Tonight, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly after midnight, a low near 69. Wednesday, an 80% chance of showers, possibly a thunderstorm, a high near 84. Thursday, a chance of rain, 20%. Otherwise, mostly sunny, a high near 84. Friday, sunshine, a high of 88. That's your WDPN weather.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Burquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Burquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Burquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Drilled deep to right field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is gone. A bullet. Home run into the second deck as the Yankees go back-to-back to take a 3-0 lead. The 1-2. There's a swing, and that one, if it stays fair, ends it. Fair ball. And the Rangers win it in the 10th. Mauricio Chaz with a ball doing. First one of 25 is off the community leaderboard.
Tasmanian Devil circling the bases. It's 5-2 Astros.
The rest of the way, but
Here goes Yelich. Right center. It's deep. It is gone. Christian Yelich goes deep.
An inside-out swing and a base hit to right. Teodosio scores. Neto comes in. Mike Trout, a 2-run single. The Angels are up 4-0.
And they would go on to win last night. Shohei Ohtani hit a home run last night, and he woke up today and found out he's being sued. We'll get into that as well coming up here as the show progresses. Welcome in, everybody. 1310 WDPN. It is the Sam Burquin Show. Sam Burquin here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. Jeff Mears in the 1310 WDPN newsroom. We'll have Jeffrey come in and join us here at some point this afternoon. Just chop up some stuff here on the program. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. We've been talking about Myles Garrett. We've been talking about the Browns, the Guardians. I see the Hall of Fame Resort has set a September date for shareholders voting on going private or not. Saw this story in the Rep a couple hours ago. Kelly Beyer, the writer of the article, and I read it a couple of times. Might have Jeff come in and help us kind of figure out everything in the article, what's going on with the Hall of Fame Resort. There's going to be a live webcast September the 16th at 10 a.m. That's when the meeting is going to be held, so you can actually you can tune in and watch that. A lot going on there with the Hall of Fame Village. A lot going on there. Just some interesting things that would happen to maybe come up if the merger does not happen. Stuff to do with the land where the water park is, the youth fields, the development lots. There's a lot going on. Now, a couple of pieces in the story that I did not know. I mean, I know there's debt. So apparently, according to the story, the company's debt, the Hall of Fame Village debt, is $273.6 million. That was at the end of 2024. $11.9 million in mechanics liens have been filed for unpaid work on the water park that is not finished. So they still owe almost $12 million. $12 million in money has not been paid for the work that's been done on the water park so far. Whew. I hope that stuff all gets resolved. I still think at the end of the day, if everything that is in the latest blueprints, which I haven't seen those in a while, I'm sure maybe some things have changed, been added, have been subtracted, I don't know. But whatever's on that blueprint, if it all gets finished, it will be incredible. But the debt really scares me. The amount of debt really scares me. There's a lot going on there. We'll get into some of those layers coming up here with Jeff in a little bit. Meanwhile, the Guardians are back in action tonight after a well-deserved break yesterday. They'll take on the Marlins tonight. 6:40 the first pitch up at Progressive Field. Guards are 61-56. Now, they lost a half game last night because Detroit picked up a win. Pitching matchup tonight, Logan Allen will go for the Guardians. Get a load of this name. Jansen Junk is going to pitch for the Marlins. Mr. Junk is 6-2 on the year and has a 3.97 earned run average. Logan Allen, 7-9 and a 3.96 ERA. Looks like we got the lineups already. All right. Well, here we go. Stephen Kwan will lead off, followed by Daniel Schneemann. Hosey will bat third. Kyle Manzardo will be the DH tonight. Then it's Carlos Santana, Bo Naylor, Gabby Arias, Nolan Jones, and Brian Rocchio. Boy, they sure do give Nolan Jones a lot of opportunities. But they know what they're doing, I guess. They know what they're doing. Marlins have lost 3 in a row. The Guards lost the Sunday game to Chicago. Again, that had the day off yesterday. Still 8-2 in their last 10. Miami is 4-6 in their last 10. It's supposed to be about 87, 88 degrees tonight, first pitch up in Cleveland. And we'll be scoreboard watching tonight, too. We'll have our eyes on what the Yankees are doing, the Red Sox, the Mariners. We'll be watching. We'll be watching. Still in the thick of that wild card. But after you won 5 out of 6 on the road, now you're home for 6. I was talking to some of our good folks here at the radio station. Just go get me 4 out of 6 here. Get me 2 out of 3 against the Marlins. Get me 2 out of 3 against the Braves. And then, just take care of your business. Yeah, I know we're going to be scoreboard watching for sure. But at this point in the season, this will be game number 118 tonight out of 162. If you can just take care of yourself, worry about you, then the other stuff will, it'll fall into place. If it's supposed to fall in, it'll fall in. Now, I did look ahead, and remember, we were all looking at the schedule. Remember right around the All-Star break, where everybody was saying what? Hey, they got the easiest schedule in the second half of the season. So I went and took a little peek at that. 3 with the Marlins and 3 with the Braves. Now, also keep in mind, the Guardians are going to play consecutively 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. They're not off until the 21st. They get an off day on the 21st. Then they're back at it again. So Miami for 3, Atlanta in for 3. And then after the game Sunday, It's time to get on that plane and get out to Arizona because you are playing the very next day. Cleveland at the Diamondbacks, Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday afternoon. Then you get the break on Thursday, and then you got a real short trip from Arizona to Texas to play the Rangers, who are going to be really tough to beat at home. That's a 3-game series. Then you come home for Tampa, who right now is 4 games under 500. Then Seattle comes in. They are 13 games over 500. We're going up to that game Saturday, August the 30th, against the Mariners. That's a 7:15 game, and I believe that's on Fox. That'll be a nationally televised game. But that's the game we're going to go up to on the 30th. So you finish up with the Mariners on the 31st. Then you flip the calendar. Ooh, 3 at Boston. September 1, 2, 3. 4 at Tampa. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Then you come home for Kansas City for 4. And you've got the White Sox for 3. Then you go to Detroit for 3. At Minnesota for 4. Back home against Detroit for 3. Home against the Rangers for 3. And that's the end of the regular season. So, yeah. I mean, you should be able to handle the Twins. You should be able to handle the White Sox. The Royals are going to be a pain in the rear end. The Rays are always going to be trouble. Boston, Seattle. I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying this. Oh, you got the easiest schedule in the second half. Not after what I just looked at. Not after what I just know. This is not going to be easy. Hey, if they get in, they are going to earn their way in. And again, not a lot of days off either. So let's have a good 6-game homestand. And don't take. I mean, the Marlins are 57-61. Don't go to sleep on this team, man. Remember they swept the Yankees, 2 or 3 series ago down in Miami? Don't sleep on this team. Don't sleep on the Marlins, and don't sleep on the Braves. That's just too good of a baseball program. Too good of an organization. And yeah, they kind of lost their way. They've had a lot of injuries. Pitching just kind of went in the dumper a little bit, but they're going to be tough. So if you're the Guards, just go get 4 out of 6, win 2 out of 3 these next 2 series, and you go out to Arizona, and you see what you got from there. We'll scoreboard watch. You guys just go out and play and just keep winning your series. That's what we need you to do. 330-821-1310. Text line is open, 330-924-7088. We are going to take a break. We're coming up on 421 here on the Sam Burquin Show. When we get back, we're going to talk a little college football with you. We'll tell you about the latest AP Top 25 college football poll, where the Buckeyes are. And we're going to tell you about 5 teams that could maybe sneak in to the national championship game. All that and more coming up here on the Sam Burquin Show. Stay with us, 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. You've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below. You take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Hi, welcome back to the Sam Burquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Do you know this, that the gas prices just shot up through the roof within like the last 18 hours? I drove home last night, and it was about 7:30, and I was passing, I was on 62 East, going back toward Canton, and I saw station to the left, $2.52 a gallon. I thought, okay, all right. So that I'm on 62, I get off on Market, and I had to make a little pit stop. And the Bell Stores across from Walsh University was $3.29. How can you have a 70 cents per gallon difference? But then today I see everybody's up over $3. It's amazing. $2.52, man, I was ready to throw a party. Filled that baby up. Life was good. Now it's $3.29. And all right. All right, top 25 college football, the AP poll. First one was out about 7-10 days ago, and the next one just came out on Monday. And they've got Texas at number 1, followed by Penn State at 2, then Ohio State 3rd, Clemson 4th, Georgia 5th. 6th is Notre Dame, 7th is Oregon, 8th is Alabama, LSU 9, and Miami of Florida is 10. Checking out the rest of the Big Ten, they got Illinois at 12, Michigan at 14th. Indiana is 20th, and Oregon is 7. Yeah, that's right. Oregon's in the Big Ten. So the Buckeyes are ranked 3rd. Now, I saw a story pop up on Yahoo Sports, and they talked about 5 teams that could maybe weasel their way in to the college football championship. And I got to tell you, these 5 teams that they come up with, I didn't see. One of them is Illinois. Now, their odds to win the national championship, 200-1. But they say the path to the Big Ten title game and potential playoff magic is a lot more plausible than you might think. They got a good schedule draw. They don't play Penn State. They don't play Oregon. They don't play Michigan. But they do host Ohio State. Now, their big ones, USC at Indiana and Washington. But Illinois should not be overmatched by any of those teams. How do you like Illinois at 200-1 to win a national championship? How about being in the Big Ten and you don't have to play Oregon, Michigan, or Penn State? Holy cow. Miami comes in at 30-1, and the experts are saying if they get a win over Notre Dame in week 1, that could be the jumpstart to a possible national championship bid. Oklahoma, 50-1. They got one of the toughest schedules, but if they get through a couple of the pitfalls, they could maybe end up in the national championship game. Defense has 8 starters coming back, and a lot of people believe that might be enough to get them in. Now, these next two, Texas Tech, odds to win the national championship 100-1. They have spent $500 trillion in the transfer pool. They have worked the transfer pool like I have never seen a team work the transfer pool before. If all these guys work out, they could be the real deal. We know they're going to score, but can they stop anybody? Texas Tech might be worth a flyer there. But man, the oil money runs thick down in Texas, let me tell you. And finally, Utah. Odds makers have them at 125-1 to win the national championship. But you got to remember, Kyle Whittingham is one of the best coaches in college football. The quarterback situation looks good. They've got 3 of their top tacklers back. And they get to host K-State, Arizona State, and Texas Tech, all 3 out in Salt Lake City. Experts think Utah might have a shot to sneak in. But the Buckeyes are ranked 3rd. They'll take on number 1 Texas to open the college football season in Columbus. And by the way, the Buckeyes are only a 2.5-point favorite in that game. A lot of people like Texas. A lot of people like Texas there. All right, we'll take a break. We got the news and weather coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Stick around. Much more to come here on the Sam Burquin Show, 1310 WDPN.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. Hundreds of National Guard troops are on the ground in Washington, D.C. Trump administration officials and President Trump claim they are there to help D.C. police deal with crime. Critics call it an example of federal government overreach. More from ABC's Perry Rossum.
We get to see the National Guard essentially on the streets of Washington, D.C. for the first time since 2021 after the attack at the Capitol. So a lot of questions about what this is going to look like in terms of what local leaders are saying here in Washington. It's kind of a mixed bag. You have the police union president who says he is supportive of this idea. He says his officers are just stretched way too thin.
Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser pledges to work alongside the federal officials President Trump has tasked with overseeing the city's law enforcement. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says the man who fired more than 180 shots with a long gun at the headquarters of the CDC wanted to send a message against COVID-19 vaccines. GBI Director Chris Hosey says 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White also recently expressed thoughts of suicide, which led to law enforcement being called several weeks prior to the shooting. He said White broke into his father's safe to get the long gun and fatally shot DeKalb County police officer David Rose during the attack. The GBI says more than 500 shell casings were recovered from the scene. Austin, Texas police are naming the man who opened fire outside of a Target store Monday, killing 3 people. ABC's Alex Stone has the latest.
Police in Austin are now identifying the shooter as 32-year-old Ethan Nynecker. The motive for the shooting remains unclear, but police say he has a history of mental illness. After shooting his victims in the Target parking lot, police say he stole a car and took off. He allegedly crashed into several other cars before getting out and stealing another car from a dealership. He was eventually caught when he was spotted on the other side of the city. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says that Russian President Vladimir Putin wants Ukraine to withdraw from the remaining 30% of the Donetsk region that Ukraine controls as part of a ceasefire deal. Zelensky reiterated that Ukraine would not withdraw from territories it controls because it was unconstitutional and would only serve as a springboard for a future Russian invasion. Zelensky said Putin wants the remaining 3,500 square miles of Donetsk under Kyiv's control, where the war's toughest battles are grinding on, as part of a ceasefire plan. Doing so would hand Russia almost the entirety of the Donbass, a region comprising Ukraine's eastern industrial heartland that Putin has long coveted. It's 90 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunny and very warm this afternoon with a high near 90 degrees. Tonight, chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly after midnight, a low around 69, chance of rain 40%. For Wednesday, an 80% chance of showers, possibly a thunderstorm, a high near 84. Thursday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms lingering, otherwise mostly sunny, a high of 84. Sunny and warm again Friday, a high of 88. That's your WDPN weather.
All right, welcome back to the Sam Burquin Show, 4:35 on your very warm, very hot, very humid Tuesday afternoon here in the Carnation City of Alliance. 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. You can always text the show at 330-924-7088. The poll question of the day, with Myles Garrett getting his 8th citation, what is your reaction? What's your reaction to Myles just piling up the speeding tickets and flipping his Porsche speeding tickets? What's your reaction there? A, not a big deal. B, it's an alarming pattern. C, it's not how a leader acts. D, the Browns should say something. Where do you come out there? 330-821-1310. Again, you can text. You can also leave comments on all of our 1310 WDPN social media platforms, on X, on Facebook, on our Q92 Radio YouTube channel, the radio page, I should say, on YouTube. Rich says, Sam, B, C, and D. Gary says, Sammy, it's a big deal, but let's face it, the NFL does nothing about it, and the Browns sure as hell don't care. I mean, when you have as much dysfunction as that team, really how big of a deal is your best player getting a speeding ticket going to be? Yeah. Well, again, that's where I say I can't understand the flippant, nonchalant, laissez-faire attitude by the organization, by a lot of the Browns fans. I don't understand how some are wired to think that way. I'm not saying a speeding ticket is the end of the world and you should be, you should be thrown out of the league and stripped of your uniform. I've never said that. I would be foolish to say something like that. But folks, this isn't the first time. This isn't the third time, the fourth time, the sixth time. This is the 8th time. What am I missing?
You know what I can say? Those tickets should at least be getting more expensive. That should be like a $5,000-$10,000 ticket at this point.
Well, I mean, the last one was $250.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was going 40 miles an hour over. He was going about 102 in a 60. And that was a $250 ticket. Whatever happened to, well, that's too many points. Your license has been suspended. What happened to that? Or does that not exist? Can I go out and get 8 speeding tickets and I'm just going to be able to keep my license?
I wouldn't try that.
Is that where we're at here? Please help me understand. 330-821-1310. I got to tell you. I was driving over today. I take the same route to work every day, and I usually take the same route home every night, unless I'm stopping at the North Canton Y or somewhere to grab a bite to eat or a drink quick on the way home. Same route every day. So I did my usual route today, and I eventually got onto 62. And I know there's a light at Harmont. I know there's going to be a light at Broadway. By the way, what are they doing at the Stark County Jail? There is a lot of dirt and trucks going on over there. Anyhow, I know I'm going to get a couple of lights. But I know pretty much after Broadway, until I get to Beeson Street exit, it's pretty clear running. I don't think there's any more lights in between. So I'm driving over today, and it fluctuates 55 to 60 on 62. Now, again, I probably travel 7-8 miles an hour over the speed limit. Okay? By the letter of the law, technically, I could get pulled over and I could get a citation for speeding. But I don't think most of the State Highway Patrol or the police or the sheriff, I don't think they're going to pull people over for going 7 miles an hour over. They might, but usually they don't. Because you've got a lot of jack wagons that are driving 20, 30, 35, and 40 miles an hour over. Okay? Usually that's who they're going to go after. So I'm driving over. Let's just say I'm in the 60 zone. I'm going about 67. So I'm driving along and I go, you know what? Let's rev it up a little bit. Let's rev it up. It's about, 9:50, 9:55 in the morning. Pretty good amount of traffic out, but nothing crazy. 62 is never really crazy. So I take her up to about 73, 74. Okay, I'm moving pretty good. Now, again, I'm not in a sports car. I'm in an SUV. I'm not in a sports car. So then I take her up to about 75, 76. I'm going pretty good. And the thought occurred to me, and I had my windows down. Yeah, I'm the idiot. I got the windows down and I don't use the air conditioning. That's me. And I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm at about 75 miles an hour. What if I revved her up another 25 and I'm doing 100? And then it hit me, how foolish is Myles Garrett? Not once, not twice, not 4 times, 6, 8 times. So then I backed her down to about 70. And that's what I drove in the rest of the way until I got off on Beeson Street. And then I got on, took a left on Smith. And by then I'm going about, 20, 25. Real short trip off of Beeson to get to Smith and pull into the station. But I'm just imagining if I was going 70, 75 today, which I was for a little bit, and then adding another 25 miles. What's that over there? What are you doing? And I'm just thinking, man, what am I missing here? Why the flippant, nonchalant, oh, it's just a speeding ticket. He's going 40 over, not a big deal. Really? I just, help me understand. I know, I'm the 55-year-old, get off my lawn guy. I get it. But just help me understand why that's just not a big deal and it's okay. Myles, just go sack the quarterback. We don't care how many speeding tickets you get. Oh, you flipped your Porsche 2 years ago and almost killed you. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Ooh. Browns. It's all we worry about. Just get to the quarterback. So what if you ruin somebody else's life? So what if you smashed your car? Go get another speeding ticket. Yeah, Miles, good job. See if you can go 110 next time and get away with it. By the way, I've heard out of the 8 times he's been pulled over, again, this is just hearsay. I can't say this is gospel. But I heard at least twice he just got a little, okay, Miles, just slow it down. No ticket. Just go on. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true. But just help me understand the ridiculous attitude of, it's okay. We all do it. We all speed. Not that big of a deal. It's not that important. Help me out. Help me out. Mayor's, help me out. Help me out. You got time to come in? Come on over. Phone line's open, by the way, 330-821-1310. Text 330-924-7088.
I suppose I can spare for you, my friend, a few of my valuable minutes.
You busy back there? You got a lot of stuff going? Okay.
I'm just messing with you.
So the news comes out last night, and I'm furious. I'm mad at Miles. I'm sick and tired of the Cleveland Browns being in the news with off-field issues. You know, I'm feeling good about Shedeur. We're going to Philly this week, got some joint practices. They'll get a lot of good work in. Preseason will be about halfway through at the end of this weekend. We're getting close to the regular season. Browns are going to have to make the decisions on the quarterback room. We're talking about football, okay? We're talking about the NFL, regular season. High school is going to be cranking up here. College football, I'm like, all right, I'm in a good spot with football. But then Miles pulls this stunt last night, and it gets reported. It was a couple of hours after we got off the air, so obviously couldn't talk about it yesterday. We didn't know about it. And I'm reading the story, and I'm like, and then I'm reading the reactions in the comments, and I was just like, I was ready to just gouge my eyes out by 10 o'clock last night. Literally. Am I nuts, Jeff? I mean, or is it just, don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. Just go get strip sacks and play ball. Don't worry about being a team leader. Don't worry about that 4-year, $125 million contract extension you signed right after you had said, trade me during Super Bowl week last year. What am I missing here with this guy?
Was he giving driving lessons to Shedeur?
I mean,
that might explain some of that behavior. I don't know.
I just, again, I don't want Myles Garrett thrown out of the league. I guess I'm as upset with the fan reaction as I am with Myles.
I could understand that.
And again, that's just my opinion. That's how I feel. You agree, you disagree, that's fine. We don't all have to see eye to eye on everything we talk about. But I am just as disgusted that 34% of you, 34%, not say it's not that big of a deal. It's okay. Don't worry about it. What world do you live in? I don't know.
Is this one of those sort of situations where you can just hear your dad saying that old adage about fool me once,
right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you know, again, I would be, I'll go out on a limb here, I suppose. But I would be more readily agreeing with some of your audience there if this was, you know, say a first or second time offense of this nature.
Right. This is
now how it should be dealt with, that's not up to us, obviously.
Yeah, we're not the judge, jury, right?
No, but you know, it does. I think there's an argument to be made here, and I don't think anybody's being extreme here in saying this, but it does at least, at a minimum, suggest some very lackadaisical attitude.
It does.
About, you know, getting behind the wheel.
It absolutely does.
And especially somebody in that position. And I'm not putting the guy on a pedestal or doing anything silly like that. It's just, if he was just Joe Sixpack driving around like this, I mean, most people would be ready to throw the book at him if he did this 7 or 8 times.
Well,
if it was you or me, yeah.
But the thing that gets me is, Jeff, it's not just the speeding tickets,
right?
But it's when he rolled his Porsche
Well, exactly.
In 2022
Yeah.
because of speed. And whether he was trying to swerve and hit an animal, I don't give a crap. He was going so fast, he couldn't control his car. If that didn't send the message of Miles, yoo-hoo, look up here, talking to you. If you didn't get it then, you're never going to get it. And that's just a ridiculous attitude to have. Ridiculous. Let me read this response to you from Tom. Sam, this team leader stuff is kind of laughable. Michael Jordan would go out and gamble till 5 and 6 in the morning, come back to the hotel, be ready by 9 to go over and shoot around for a 1 o'clock game. He would play 36 holes at a golf course, then score 46 points in a game at night. My point is all these professional athletes should be leaders. Lead by playing good football, winning games. Some rookies learned this before their first year is over. Garrett needs to reel in the fast driving and not to kill himself or someone else. But every vet on the Browns team should lead by their example the way we want them to. I don't think a bunch of players going 100 miles an hour because Garrett did or does. If he jumps off the terminal tower, will they do that too? Signed, Dr. Tom.
Well, if this was a player of the stature of Michael Jordan, there might be something a little more to that in terms of the performance and the results.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what you're saying, I'm generally in agreement with that. What you're saying, it suggests a real problem with attitude, just as far as this devil may care sort of mindset. Nothing's going to hurt me. I'm not going to hurt anybody else. What's the worst that can happen? Well, as you pointed out, he very nearly did find out.
Yeah. Well, you keep pressing the envelope, then eventually, something is going to happen. And I've had so many people the last 24 hours, get off the guy. It's not that big of a deal. We all speed. You speed, Sam, don't you? Yeah, I do. But I don't go 40 miles an hour over the limit. And I haven't been popped 7 times or 8 times. I mean, it's the whole. And again, back to the culture of the Cleveland Browns. It's not just one thing. It's the sum of the parts of the nonsense of the culture of the team that I think keeps them from going to the next level. And we can talk about wanting guys to be leaders. You should be a leader. You're a 7-year, 8-year, 9-year pro. You're getting paid this kind of money. You are you're the face of the franchise. The majority of Browns fans still love and worship him. But it's stuff like this. Remember when Odell Beckham Jr. was here,
mm-hmm.
and he would go out onto the field wearing clown shoes, and some of the other guys, that's funny. Let's go do that. And they come out and they look like absolute idiots on the football field, and then their performance, it takes over. It wasn't about wearing the clown shoes. It was about the culture of the team and the nonchalantness and the attitude of a franchise that hasn't won anything since 1964. That's what I'm trying to get at. And you got Myles Garrett worried about Halloween and putting quarterback gravestones in his backyard and dressing up in it's all this stuff that keeps happening over and over again that just leads me to believe at the end of the day, at the bottom, beneath the surface, behind the curtain, you just don't care. And that to me is the biggest problem there is.
Well, I don't know if it's a team problem, but specifically, but as you sort of suggest there, it's a suggestion of a culture issue.
Yes.
For one, if you fool around and you're not getting disciplined for fooling around, whatever form it takes, whether it's wrecking cars or being Johnny Manziel, if we want to go back to that era, things like that, just casting a bad reflection on the team and your teammates and the front office, well, of course you're going to get, lit up in the press or by your bosses for the, most people would. And especially if you are the face of the franchise. But even if you're not, it's, I don't think anybody's going out on a limb to say that if you make your employer look bad, there are going to be certain people who probably sign your paycheck that they're not going to be too pleased with you.
Yeah,
that's just the way it works.
And apparently they don't do anything. I mean, look, we're not talking about Buster Screen here. We're talking about Myles Garrett. And apparently nobody up in Berea seems to think that it's that big of a deal or important enough. And look, we had Fred Greetham on Orange and Brown Report. Fred does a great job. And he says he knows that Myles has been talked to by people in the building. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they have talked to him. But to me, the old actions speak louder than words is on center stage. Doug in the PTO says, Sam, in Ohio, the number of points assigned to a driver's license for speeding depends on how much the speed exceeds the limit. Speeding between 11 and 29 miles per hour over the limit results in 2 points. 30 or more limits in 4 points. Speeding 10 miles per hour or less over the limit is typically not assigned any points. Ohio has a point system. Accumulating 12 or more within a 2-year period can lead to the driver's license being suspended. Okay. Well, I bet if we added up all the miles per hour over by Myles Garrett, he would be well over 12 points. Just kind of throwing that out there.
And getting back to what you were suggesting, and this doesn't necessarily relate specifically to the Myles Garrett situation. You were talking about OBJ and the clown shoes and just foolish behavior, whatever form it takes,
Right.
Those are the sort of things that if you're a successful institution, you're a professional football franchise, a manufacturer, you make widgets for a living, whatever it is you do. If you're successful at doing that, it stands to reason that if you have some, let's just say, eccentric behavior, whatever it is, people are going to be a little more willing to give you a pass if you're doing the job that you're there to do.
Right.
And you're not just wasting everybody's time, or at least can be seen as wasting everybody's time, just earning a paycheck, and you're not actually earning it. That's the problem. There's an old song that I can think of. I won't bother getting into the history of it. But there's a line in the chorus that says, "You just haven't earned it yet, baby."
Hey.
And I'm not saying, I'm not putting everything on Myles Garrett here necessarily, but it does, again, maybe it's exactly what you say. Maybe it is a culture issue within the team.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is, Jeff, and I think it's been that way for a long time.
And if you're not out there winning, and again, winning isn't everything, but if you are a football team, that's what you're there to do, supposedly.
Winning covers a multitude of sins.
And I'm not saying you excuse bad behavior if you are winning. I think there are limits to that.
Right.
But if you do just stupid things that don't necessarily hurt anybody, clown shoes, etc., that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not winning the game, nobody's got time for that. I'm guessing you've been around long enough. Some of those old school coaches would not tolerate that sort of attitude if you weren't getting it done on the gridiron.
Right. They wouldn't. If you can walk the walk, it's different. But if you're not walking the walk and you're not helping, then it's hey, what are you doing here, guy?
It's like, again, not making excuses. That only goes so far. But, if you've got a bad attitude, you don't want to be a team player, and you're messing around off the field or on the field for that matter, most people would say, hey, exactly, what are you doing? If you're winning games, you're winning playoffs, you're going to the postseason. Yeah, I'm not entirely happy with that, but at least then you could say, well, hey, he's winning the big games when we need him to. But if you're not doing that, you're going to be less likely to see people let that sort of behavior slide.
Exactly. Jeff Mears from our 1310 WDPN newsroom. We got a couple of minutes before we get to break. I know you read the story on the Hall of Fame resort and the big shareholder vote coming up here in September. Mm-hmm. We talked about it off the air for a couple of minutes about what it means. You talked about the reorganization of some things. Again, we just got about a minute and a half here, but where are we heading here with the village?
Clearly it's a survival strategy, seems to me. I mean, I don't think that's putting too fine a point on it. as we said, sort of reorganizing, and hopefully not just the deck chairs on the Titanic here. I hope it's nothing parallel to that. But obviously the idea here is that, taking the company private, so therefore you're not going to be publicly trading shares here. And Stuart Lichter, it's his belief, clearly, that going private holds the best chance for the institution to survive long term. As the phrase was used in the article from Kelly Byer, was it?
Yeah, Kelly Byer from the rep sheet.
Likelihood for insolvency. Obviously, there are concerns there that they won't be solvent, perhaps if they don't take this strategy. They're going private, and clearly there's it doesn't appear to be any widespread opposition to this proposal. The board of directors has so far recommended doing this. So
right.
So you've got that.
Well,
now, but as you said, the pile of debt that they're dealing with here, I think it probably that may be driving some of this clearly.
And again, if you haven't seen the story, at the end of 24, the company's debt, $273.6 million. And the one that really got me, of course, 273 is a big debt, but the almost $12 million that hasn't been paid for work done on the unfinished water park, to me, is just like, whoa, what is going on here? I mean, there's a lot going on, and it's not good. Again, I hope this gets done. I don't know that I don't know what is all going on behind the curtain. I wish I did. I wish a lot of people do. We probably will never find out. But there's a lot going on there. I just hope they get it resolved. All right, we got the news with, hey, guess who? Jeff Mears. We got the weather, all that coming up here. One more big hour to go on the Sam Burquin Show. Keep it locked. 1310 WDPN.
Keeping Alliance entertained and informed for over a half a century. AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
American salt prices for goods edge up slightly in July compared to June, and inflation from year to year was 2.7%. ABC's Alexis Christophorus says the numbers don't reflect the full impact of tariffs yet and follows a decline in job hires.
The Fed is looking at not just that jobs number, but a whole host of data coming from the government, including today's inflation report, to do things like, look at the direction of interest rates going forward. And I can tell you, because this inflation report was tamer than most had expected, Wall Street's betting that the Fed's going to cut interest rates for the first time this year when it meets in September. That's a big reason why we're seeing a nice rally on Wall Street today.
Police in Austin identified a suspect in the shooting at a Target store as Ethan Nineker. Authorities say the 32-year-old has a history of mental health issues. 3 people were killed, including a 4-year-old and her grandfather. And stocks did surge on the positive economic data today. This is ABC News.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. Authorities are investigating the death of a Stark County jail inmate. The sheriff's office says the 76-year-old female attended a court appearance this morning and afterwards said she didn't feel well. The woman was taken to the jail's medical clinic for evaluation. She appeared to suffer cardiac arrest while receiving treatment. Clinic and jail staff continued life-saving measures until Canton firefighters arrived. She was transported to Mercy Hospital, where she died. The woman had been in the jail since June 14th and had a history of health issues. The Stark County Sheriff's Office is investigating after a woman nearly drowned at Myers Lake Monday night. Shortly after 7 p.m., first responders were called to the Myers Lake Sportsman's Club on North Park Avenue Northwest. The 78-year-old woman had fallen out of a boat near the marina. She was pulled from the water, then taken to Altman Hospital. The woman was transferred to the intensive care unit where she is in critical condition. Her name has not been released. Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment says shareholders will vote on a proposal to take the company private during a special meeting September 16th. The owner and operator of the Hall of Fame Village announced the date in a filing with the SEC. The Hall of Fame Resort's board of directors recommended going private. The company would merge with Omaha Merger Sub. That's a subsidiary of Industrial Realty Group, which is owned by Stuart Lichter. He's a majority shareholder of Hall of Fame Resort. The company would become a wholly owned subsidiary of HOFV Holdings LLC. Hall of Fame Resort failed to hold an annual shareholder meeting on time, and their stock was delisted by NASDAQ in June. A new monthly fee to address stormwater and flooding will be added to Canton utility bills. City Council approved adding the fee of $3.75 for each single-family home, duplex, and triplex within the city Monday. According to the repository, other properties, including larger apartment buildings and commercial and industrial facilities, will be assessed the same monthly fee for each 2,750 square feet, up to a maximum of $325. Canton water customers outside the city limits will not be assessed the fee. The city will also give a credit of up to 20% for non-single-family sites if the owner uses measures to improve stormwater quality and reduce water runoff. The estimated $2 million in annual revenue raised by the fee will go toward improving and maintaining Canton's aging stormwater drainage system. A house explosion in Columbiana County leads to a lawsuit. A man, woman, and a 14-year-old girl in the home were treated at Pittsburgh hospitals for serious injuries. The blast took place in the 500 block of Wells Hollow Road in Yellow Creek Township in August 2023. The suit was filed last week in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court. It seeks in excess of $25,000 in damages. Family members say in the suit, an employee of Eichler LP Gas filled the home's propane tank, realizing it was empty due to a leak in the external distribution system. It also says filling the tank introduced propane into the home's piping, which began leaking into the home. The suit names the company, owner Gary Eichler, and the employee. Howland Township Police are investigating after two people were found dead inside a home Monday night. The Trumbull County Coroner's Office says one adult male and one juvenile male were discovered in the residence in the 500 block of Mines Road. Their names and ages have not been released. WKBN TV reports foul play is not a suspected factor. Autopsies are scheduled for tomorrow. A man wanted in Washington, D.C. for making terroristic threats is in the Mahoning County Jail. 69-year-old Al-Fad Mohammed of North Jackson was arrested Monday on charges of aggravated menacing, intimidation, and failure to comply. He allegedly threatened to shoot an employee of Hollywood Gaming Casino in Austintown Sunday morning. Police say he claimed someone at Sportsbook made him lose $15,000 on a horse race. Security escorted Mohammed out of the casino. He allegedly led police on a chase a short time later after failing to pull over and pointed a rifle out of his vehicle. Officers ended the pursuit. Mohammed is scheduled for arraignment tomorrow. A woman faces charges following an incident at the Paranormal Cirque in Boardman. Police working security at the event outside Southern Park Mall Friday night found a woman who was highly intoxicated, unable to stand, and slurring her speech. She allegedly became combative with officers, and one sustained a knee injury. The woman's boyfriend said she was on medication, but later admitted they both had taken psychedelic mushrooms. She was handcuffed and taken to a hospital. The woman reportedly fought with officers and nurses. She was released the next day and arrested on charges of obstructing official business, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct. The woman was arraigned today with a pretrial hearing slated for August 26th. An aggravated robbery charge was filed against a 14-year-old in Youngstown Friday. Another 14-year-old told police he had played football with the suspect while running a lemonade stand at 5th Avenue and Redondo Road. Just before 5 p.m., the suspect pulled out a gun and took a safe and backpack from the victim. A tip led police to the suspect, who was arrested and taken to the Mahoning County Juvenile Justice Center. The money was recovered. 2 years of probation for a Hubbard man who pleaded guilty to 3 counts of of theft of drugs. 33-year-old Colt Edwards surrendered his pharmacy license and told the court he was receiving addiction services. Investigators say he was identified as the responsible person at a pharmacy on Market Street in Boardman between July and September 2023. Edwards reportedly stole drugs including hydrocodone, Tramdol, and Zolpidem during the period, along with other merchandise including protein bars, condoms, and over-the-counter drugs. A 36-year-old Tennessee man pleaded not guilty to killing a man in Lyndhurst over the weekend. Police said Francisco Valinsky shot and killed 38-year-old Dorian Holt. The shooting reportedly occurred following an argument in Holt's garage on South Sedgwick Road Friday night. The two men did know each other. Valinsky fled the scene and was arrested several hours later in Cincinnati with the help of U.S. Marshals. He was brought back to Lyndhurst and appeared in municipal court Monday. Bond was set at $1 million. Valinsky's case has been bound over to the Cuyahoga County grand jury. Governor Mike DeWine says Cincinnati city leaders have yet to take the state up on its offer to provide more comprehensive support for local police. He announced plans to send the Highway Patrol to assist with crime reduction efforts nearly 2 weeks ago. The governor says the state is offering to provide troopers with the Highway Patrol's aviation unit, troopers to patrol the streets, help with searches, pursuits, adult parole, liquor, and traffic enforcement. Cincinnati's police chief said when plans were announced that they haven't declined resources and are evaluating how to use them. DeWine said he's following the city's lead when it comes to any resources Cincinnati police may need. He says they've sent resources to cities like Cleveland, Columbus, and Dayton, adding that the state support helped to reduce crime and increase arrests. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 44,449, up 475 points. The Nasdaq Composite ended the day 295 points higher at 21,680, and the S&P 500 closed at 6,445, up 72 points. We have the following funeral announcements. The service for 82-year-old David Ray Held will be held Tuesday at 10 a.m. at Highland Memorial Park. Arrangements by Cassaday Turkle Christian. And a memorial service for 86-year-old Patricia Lee Henry will be held Friday, August 22nd at 11:30 at Beach Creek Botanical Gardens. Arrangements by Cassaday Turkle Christian. It's 91 degrees and Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
This afternoon's forecast calling for sunshine with a high near 90 degrees. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly after midnight, a low around 69. For Wednesday, 80% chance of showers, possibly a thunderstorm, a high near 84. Thursday, slight chance of showers, mostly sunny, a high near 84. Chance of rain, 20%. For Friday, more sunshine and a high near 88. That's your WDPN weather.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Burquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Burquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Burquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Drilled deep to right field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is gone. A bullet home run into the second deck as the Yankees go back-to-back to take a 3-0 lead. The 1-2. There's a swing, and that one, if it stays fair, ends it. Fair ball. And the Rangers win it in the 10th. Mauricio Chaz with a ball doing.
First one of 25 is off the community leaderboard. Tasmanian Devil circling the bases. It's 5-2 Astros.
The rest of the way, but
Here goes Yelich. Right center. It's deep. It is gone. Christian Yelich goes deep.
And an inside-out swing and a base hit to right. Teodosio scores. Neto comes in. Mike Trout, a 2-run single. The Angels are up 4-0.
And we are back. Boom, just like that. AM 1310 WDPN. It is the Sam Burquin Show. How we doing, everybody? How's it going, Alliance? How we doing, Northeast Ohio? Sam Burquin here. Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. Jeff Mears in the 1310 WDPN newsroom. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. Text line is open, too. We'd love to hear from you, 330-924-7088. It's been a 2 hours. We've had some great conversations off the air today. People in the building and kind of venting our frustration a little bit about the Browns and Myles Garrett and the culture and the Haslam ownership group, and it just kept taking turns, and I'm like, whoa, it's almost time to go back on the air. We gotta cut this conversation short, but a lot of great stuff comes up in those little talks you have in the hallway here. And we talked a lot about Myles Garrett today. Didn't really want to spend that much time on it, but you know how it is in the biz. It's trending. It's the hot topic. People want to talk about it. They want to comment about it. They want to hear opinions about it. Myles cited for going over 100 miles an hour early Saturday morning in Strongsville. $250 ticket. He'll be able to pay it without going to court. It's his eighth citation. Eighth. Since he's been with the Browns. And my question, I have a couple of questions. One about the character of Myles Garrett, about the culture of the Cleveland Browns, and about the Cleveland Browns fan base. A percentage of the Cleveland Browns fan base. And I can't tell you how, I guess I shouldn't be shocked from a fan base that is so desperate, just oozing for something good to happen, to find that quarterback, to win the division, to get to an AFC championship game. The desperation is at an all-time high. I get it. I appreciate it, but sometimes I don't quite understand it within the context of the situation. The comments that I was reading last night and continue to read today after everybody posted about Myles getting another citation for driving over 100 miles an hour, his 8th time, all that he's been through, all the tickets, the rolling of his Porsche in 2022, basically staring death in the face, yet he continues to do it. And I was just, I could not believe the flippant attitude of some of the Browns fans. It's not a big deal. Get off of Myles Garrett. We all speed. It's not that big of a deal. In the context, it's the 8th time he's been popped. It's a damn big deal. Here's a guy that wanted out of the organization during the Super Bowl break last year. Remember, he went on that little tour telling everybody who would listen he was demanding a trade. He wanted out of Cleveland. He didn't like the direction they were going in. He wanted to win. He didn't see the plan. Blah, 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 blah. Here you go, Myles. Here's a 4-year contract for about $140 million. You in? He couldn't sign it fast enough. Couldn't sign it fast enough. We got a little momentum here. Carolina game. I know. Bring preseason. I know. Keeping it within the context. But we felt good about Shador. We felt good about the defense. We felt good about a few things. Couldn't enjoy it for 48 hours. Why? Because Myles Garrett didn't care. Myles Garrett says, I'm Myles Garrett. I don't care. He goes out and goes over 100, gets pulled over. Why does he keep doing this? You know, you're coming off a 3-14 season. You've missed the playoffs 3 out of the last four years. You have done nothing with Myles Garrett. You've done nothing. Since he was drafted number 1, 2017, what have you won? What have the Cleveland Browns won? I'll tell you, nothing. You've won nothing. I swear to you, I was so in favor of the Cleveland Browns trading Myles Garrett during the offseason. I was so in favor of it, I could taste it. You could have got some stuff. You could have reloaded in the draft. You could have got some capital. And in my opinion, and again, most of you probably don't agree, in my opinion, it would have been addition by subtraction. The flippin' attitude, the I don't give a crap. I'm going to go out and speed. I don't care what happens. I don't care what has happened already. I'm still going to do it. You may have told me to slow down. You may have told me to quit doing it. You may have told me to, just tone it down a little bit. I don't care. I'm going to go do it anyway. I'm Myles Garrett. You love me. I'm the face of your franchise. I get standing ovations at Guardians games, standing ovations at Cavs games. I get mobbed when I'm walking down the street. Myles, autograph. Myles, can I get a picture? We love you, Myles. You're the greatest. Super Bowl. You've done nothing. And your attitude sucks. And I think you're more worried about other things than being a leader and winning for this franchise. Honest to God, I wish they would have traded him. But here we are. Here we are. You haven't won a thing with Myles Garrett. Yeah, he's a great specimen. What is he? 6'5", 6'6", 270-some pounds, can come off the edge. And what have you won with him? How many times has Myles Garrett come up with a game-changing defensive play? And when I mean game-changing, I mean a 3rd and 14 when the opponent's on our 30-yard line with 45 seconds to go. Do we get off the field? I remember the one game he had against the Chicago Bears. I can't remember what year it was. He had like 5 or 6 sacks, and the Browns won by like 30. And I remember all the celebrating and that's when Myles Garrett's at his best, when the chips are not on the table. I've said it once, I'll say it 100,000 times. He is the Edward Encarnacion of the Cleveland Browns. Remember Eddie Encarnacion, former Blue Jay? Came aboard with the Cleveland Indians for a little bit. Edward Encarnacion was good when you were up 7-0 in the 9th inning to get a leadoff solo home run. That's when he was good. You didn't want him up there in the bottom of the 7th, down 2 with the bases loaded, because he wasn't going to get anything. He wasn't going to produce. He wasn't going to come through. That's exactly what Myles Garrett is. When we need a 3rd and 6 to get off the field, stop the run, sack the quarterback, we don't get it. He doesn't get it. Oh, he got chipped. He got blocked. He got double teamed. I don't give a crap. You're supposed to make plays when it counts the most. TJ Watt does it. Myles Garrett's never been that player. He'll never be that player. Yet everybody just falls at his feet. I just don't get it. And the attitude, the whole culture, I'm so tired of it. I'm growing so tired of it. You got this fresh batch of rookies that you come in with, and all right, Shador, Schlesinger, Sampson, Graham. Okay, Let's go, fellas. Go out there, work hard, play hard, practice hard. Let's see what you got. Myles Garrett's supposed to be your leader. Sam, they're grown men. They don't need to be led. You're supposed to be a team leader. You're the face of the franchise. You want to win? You want to win bad enough that you could be a team leader and set a good example? Be on the field when it counts the most. Make the big plays when it counts the most. Be there for your team. Or are you more worried about Halloween costumes on game day and graveyards in your house, in your backyard, going 107 miles an hour? It seems to me that the priorities are just wrong. And quite frankly, I don't know why the Cleveland Browns brass, I don't know why the Cleveland Browns trust, I don't know why the Cleveland Browns front office, the ownership group, the people in charge, I don't know why they continue to let this go. Or don't they care? Does your ownership group not care? I mean, we're talking about Jimmy Haslam. We're talking about a guy that stuck it to truck drivers in the state of Ohio, all over the country. Stuck it to them. Tried to rip them off. The hardworking truck drivers of America. With rebates. Tried to stick it to them. Tried to cheat them. Oh, he didn't know anything about it. Okay. Oh, okay, he didn't know about it. That's the guy who's leading your team. You're leading your franchise, your organization. No wonder they just let things go when the culture is what it is. You got a guy who's just thieving off of the hardworking truck drivers for years. What, did y'all forget about that? Is that water under the bridge because he paid them off? That doesn't matter anymore? The desperation to hold on to something successful is at an all-time high. I wish they would have traded Myles Garrett. I wish they would have traded Myles Garrett. I've said it 100 times. Could have got a good haul. Got some draft capital. Out with the old and in with the possible. We didn't do it. Give him $130 million. You've never won anything with Myles Garrett. You probably never will. But as bad as the culture and as bad as the I don't care laissez-faire attitude of Myles Garrett is some of the Cleveland Browns fans. That's almost as bad. What do you have to say for yourself? The comments are still rolling. Like, I'm almost tired of reading them. Enabling. Justifying it. I just don't get it. And until Myles Garrett is out of here, this kind of stuff is probably going to keep happening. Now look, I read the stats just like you do. I read the NFL game box scores just like you do. 47 total tackles, 14 sacks last year. 7th consecutive year with double-digit sacks. He had a league best 22 tackles for loss. But go back and see when those happen. Chips on the table. Is it third and long? Then you request a trade. You get your money. You come back. It's the same old crap over and over again. I'm a Browns fan, by the way. Good to tell. That's where we're at. All right, it's time for On This Day in Sports History. 1984, the Summer Olympic Games close at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. 1990, the longest baseball rain delay in MLB history. Listen to this. The Rangers and the White Sox waited 7 hours and 23 minutes to play baseball at Comiskey Park in Chicago. On this day in 1948, the Cleveland Indians got 29 hits in a 9-inning game. On this day in 1969, the Boston Celtics were sold for $6 million. To date, that was the highest price paid for a pro basketball team. 1973, Jack Nicklaus won his 14th major golf title. The win broke the record that was held by Bobby Jones for over 50 years. On this day in 1986, Rod Carew became the first player in the history of the California Angels franchise to have his number retired. Number 29, Rodney Carew. On this day in 2016, remember Katie Ledecky? She won the 200, the 400, and the 800-meter freestyle at the same Olympic Games. She was the first to win swimmer of the year that year, all three in the same Olympics since Debbie Meyer did it in 1968. And finally, audio portion today. Oh, there was some fist flying back in 1984. Let's take you to Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. Braves and Padres. Atlanta beats San Diego 5-3. The game had 2 brawls and 19 ejections. Let's go back to 1984 and listen in.
Ozzie Virgil. So now Jack Kroll runs the club, and Lefferts delivers inside, and I think he's going to be gone too. Here come the Braves. They are going after Lefferts. For the 4th straight time, Perez coming to the plate, and we've got one going now. And there are some hot-tempered individuals out there.
1984. I went back. Go back and Google that. Google Braves Padres brawl 1984. The video lasts almost 10 minutes. 2 separate brawls. 19 people were thrown out. Fans were throwing beer. They were running onto the field. They were throwing stuff at the dugout. It was an absolute disaster. But that was back on this day in 1984. All right, that'll wrap up On This Day in Sports History. We'll take a break at the bottom of the hour for news and weather, and we'll come back with more on the Sam Burquin Show.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro appeared today alongside local leaders and the CEO of U.S. Steel in Clairton, the site of Monday's plant explosion. 2 people were killed in the blast. Shapiro stressed steelworkers have a dangerous job and vowed to get to the bottom of what caused the explosion.
We owe them an answer for what happened. We owe them the answers to their questions, and we owe them to never forget the sacrifices that occurred here yesterday.
Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser and Metropolitan Police Chief Pam Smith briefed reporters today following their meeting with Attorney General Pam Bondi. Today's meeting comes after President Trump announced plans to take over the Washington, D.C. Police Department and deploy National Guard troops to the city to combat crime. The mayor and police chief both stressed they have a collaborative working relationship with the federal government. Bowser added she and Smith have final say over control of the police department's staffing and operations.
What I'm focused on is the federal surge and how to make the most of the additional officer support that we have.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt expanded on President Trump's social media post, indicating that a lawsuit might be forthcoming on the Federal Reserve's $2.5 billion renovation project. During today's news briefing, Leavitt said that Trump is weighing whether, as president, he should sue the U.S. Central Bank. Leavitt went on to say the president is considering a lawsuit against the Fed, and I will leave it to him to comment further on it. Israel is in talks with South Sudan about the possibility of resettling Palestinians from the Gaza Strip to the war-torn East African country. It appears to be part of a wider effort by Israel to facilitate mass emigration from the territory left in ruins by Israel's 22-month offensive against Hamas. 6 people familiar with the matter confirmed the talks to the Associated Press. It's unclear how far the discussion has advanced, but the plans, if implemented, would amount to transferring people from one war-ravaged land at risk of famine to another and raise human rights concerns. Israel has floated similar resettlement proposals with other African nationals, including Sudan and Somalia. Spirit Airlines is indicating it may be going out of business. More from ABC's Alex Stone.
Just months after Spirit Airlines emerged from bankruptcy, it's warning investors there is, quote, substantial doubt the airline can stay in business within the next year. According to a new SEC filing, Spirit reports it has continued to be affected by adverse market conditions and weaker demand for domestic leisure travel this year. It says it's tried introducing a premium economy option to make money and pilot furloughs, but it hasn't been enough. The airline saying it may have to sell off planes to make money.
It's 90 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunshine in the forecast for this afternoon. Very warm, a high near 90 degrees. Tonight, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly after midnight, a low near 69. Wednesday, an 80% chance of showers, possibly a thunderstorm, a high near 84. Thursday, a chance of rain, 20%. Otherwise, mostly sunny, a high near 84. Friday, sunshine, a high of 88. That's your WDPN weather.
She's simply awesome.
All right, we got about a half hour left in today's program. Don't forget to join us tomorrow beginning at 3, AM 1310 WDPN. Thursday, we are going to be joined by TV play-by-play voice of the Cleveland Guardians, Matt Underwood. He will be joining us at around about 4:10 on Thursday. Looking forward to catching up with Matty. Guardians in action tonight, 6:40 against the Marlins up at Progressive Field. Jansen Junk against Logan Allen. How'd you like to have the last name of Junk?
I think it'd be cool.
What in the... Really?
Yeah.
Ryan Junk.
No, it wouldn't be good with my first name, but his name works.
So
you
you
the double
think,
J's.
you think because it's Jansen, it works?
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue nice. Jansen Junk.
I just can't. No. I'd rather have my last name, and I'm not a fan of my last name.
Look,
believe it or
I'd
not.
probably rather have anything than my last name. It's so long and nobody knows how to spell it.
But it's pronounceable.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I've heard people mess it up.
Did they ever butcher Rainsburg?
I usually just get Rainsburger.
Oh,
Somehow.
really?
People just throw that ER on it.
You know what? I think I did that once.
Yeah, you probably have.
I did. I think when I was doing a mountain game and you were producing, and I think I said, and thanks to our producer today, Ryan Rainsberger, and then I forget who I was looked at me like, what did you just say? And I said, I thought that was his last name. No. But yeah, I don't know if I could have the last name Junk. There's way too many openings there for things to be said.
I know, it's hilarious.
They're
the nicest family on the block, the Junks. We love them.
All right, son, behave tonight. You and your sister, we're going to go have dinner with the Junks. I don't know, man.
They have the loveliest house. The burnt out car on front.
The Junks. This sounds like a sitcom. Let's go. Somebody write that script up.
That's definitely a 90s sitcom.
We'll figure
Ray
it out.
Romano, get on it.
Oh, man. I watched Raymond last night again. It's on the DVR. I've got 35 episodes at all times. Season 1 through 8, all the way through the finale, and they'll start over again. I laugh. Same stuff all the time. King of Queens, I laugh at the same stuff all the time. I've turned into a lazy TV watcher. Watching stuff that I've watched so many times over and over because I don't have to think. I know what's going to happen. I know when I'm going to laugh. I've become a lazy watcher. I need to reward myself and watch new things. Like, I hear people talk about series on Netflix or Prime or Peacock or whatever, all these streaming services that are out there that you can't keep track of. And I hear people talking about, yeah, I knocked that one out. I watched 18 episodes the other day. Really? What else did you do? How do you have time to do that? I just don't have the time. I tried. Remember the series Narcos?
Oh, I love Narcos.
I said, you know what? And this was out, 5 years ago?
Narcos. Ooh, no, I think the first season of Narcos was probably closer to 10 years ago.
Oh my God.
At least.
So there you go. So I said to myself, look, we are going to watch that. We're going to watch it all the way through. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be like Rocky on top of the steps. I did it. I finished the series on Netflix. And I was really into it.
Oh, really? A lot of that's in Spanish, so that could be off-putting for people.
Yeah.
A lot of reading.
Yeah. And I made it through, I think, the first 7. And I stopped. And I don't know how many there were. I don't know how many episodes Narcos had.
I think it ended up being 3 seasons of the Pablo Escobar arc.
Was it 3? Okay.
2 or 3. And
so probably
fantastic television.
And I watched the first 7. I mean, I was into it. I was glued. I like that. I like that stuff.
Oh, I've watched that show a few times.
And I stopped, and I never went back and picked it up. And I was like, man, I just can't. I don't know why. But there's so many good series out there, and I don't watch them. I got to discipline myself how to watch TV.
Once I'm like hooked, it's over. I have to finish it.
Yeah.
I can't not finish it. I have to know what happens. I'll have trouble sleeping until I finish it.
See, I didn't want to get to the point where, and the only time and this was, okay, so if this was 10 years ago, Dylan would have been 8. And like the only time that I really had a chance to like sit in front of the TV, like semi uninterrupted, would be like 11 o'clock at night. And I didn't want to be the guy because I could have stayed up till 4 or 5 in the morning, but I didn't because, the next day is coming around. You better be ready for life and what it has to offer. So I would like watch 1 episode a night. That would be it. Maybe 1.5. But then after about 2 weeks, I was like,
I just want to say I nailed it. It came out in 2015. Narcos is exactly the first season was 10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago.
I know, me neither. Good God.
Wow. Okay. So let's just say I want to go back and pick up where I left off. Where do I go find it now?
Oh, it's Netflix. That's a Netflix show.
So it'll always be there.
Mm-hmm. But it's pretty dense. And if you started watching it a decade ago, you might just want to start fresh.
Start it
at
over?
the beginning. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really dense show.
All right. Well, if the opportunity affords itself, I'm not promising, but I will maybe try to go back and pick that up.
I think
because I did enjoy it. I really did.
You should start with shows that are 30-minute episodes because Narcos are hour episodes.
Yeah.
And that's harder for people to get used to. But you could watch a 10-episode season of 30-minute episodes in a couple hours, Whole season of King of the Hill came out and I watched it in a day because they were all 22 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, because Narcos was like 58 minutes, 63
easily.
minutes. And
7-8 episodes a season.
Woo. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that.
No, that's an 8-hour time commitment.
Yeah.
That's a day.
It is a day.
Yep.
And it's just kind of hard. It's just kind of hard to do that. But yeah, because every once in a while I would go on Twitter or Facebook and say, hey, what's the hot series? Give me a new series to watch for Netflix. There'd be like 40, 50. Okay. I never watched them. I felt bad. asking for all this advice and different shows to check. I never watched them. I don't know. One of these days. All right. The NBA came out with some of their leaks in their for the new season. We told you about Christmas Day. Cavaliers will play the Knicks at 12 noon, and the Spurs and Thunder will play at 2:30. Dallas, Golden State, on and on. Again, this is Christmas Day. It's a ways away, but kind of cool to see the Cavaliers jumping right back up on like the national TV train again. Like when LeBron was here, we were on Christmas Day all the time. We were on holiday games. We were just on all the time. Home and away didn't matter. NBA loved the Cavs. So they have come out with their first 2 games of the season. Cavs will play the Knicks on ESPN October 22nd. If you're interested in watching Cooper Flagg, the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, that's going to be a cool matchup. That'll be the Mavericks in action on October the 22nd. The following day, the Thunder and Pacers will play. Then the Nuggets and the Warriors. And remember, it's a whole new deal now. No more TNT. So you've got ESPN, NBC, Peacock. They're going to do like a Sunday night NBA starting in, I think, January or February. By the way, the Spurs and Mavericks are going to be the game. That'll be Cooper Flagg's first game. They also released, the NBA did their Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Cavaliers are playing that day too. That's going to be a 2:30 game at home against the Thunder. That'll be on NBC. Bucks-Hawks kick off today. Then it's the Mavericks and the Knicks, and then the Celtics and the Pistons at 8 o'clock. The Cavs are getting a lot of national TV love. That's good to see. Now, hopefully, they'll come out playing well, and it will turn into something really special come the postseason and not end in a disaster like it did against the Pacers this past year. But here's the deal. If the NBA is going ahead and scheduling you on Christmas and on MLK Day, they think you're going to be for real again. They think you're going to be really good. So that's good. Now, going back to how some of these games, how you're going to be able to consume these games. Peacock is going to stream games on Mondays throughout the regular season. Cavaliers are going to be on one of the first Peacock games in the Cavs in Detroit, October 27th. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip. Nuggets and Timberwolves will follow. It's probably going to take us a little while to figure out where everything is going on. ESPN, NBC, Peacock. Of course, I think you're still going to have games on NBA TV. But there's going to be a lot of places you're going to have to look around and find these games. But once you get down, okay, this network this day, this stream this day, this network this day, then I think we're going to be good to go. I think we'll be in good shape there. This was a little bit of a shocker today. Did you see this? Dodgers two-way superstar Shohei Ohtani and his agent, whose name is Ned Baeo, they are being sued by a real estate investor and broker who were fired from a $240 million project in Hawaii. This was according to the Associated Press. Let me walk you through this here. I thought, whoa, I gotta read this now. What's going on with Shohei now? So developer Kevin Hayes and real estate broker Tomoko Matsuopo filed the lawsuit in the Hawaii Circuit Court last Friday, alleging that they were pushed out of the deal due to increasing demands by Baeo and Shohei Ohtani. I guess the project wanted Ohtani on board to create buzz within the Japanese luxury vacation home market, which is primary target audience for the project. This is per an investment brochure. The dispute stems from Ohtani's involvement in the Vista at Moana Key Resort. Shohei actually signed an endorsement deal for the project back in 2023. He was expected to act as a spokesperson and actually own one of the 14 residences on the property. It was believed Ohtani's attachment would help the developers sell the properties. Now, the brochure also teased that Ohtani would spend significant time at the Vista in the offseason, and that he would also construct a small hitting and pitching facility on the premises. This also according to the article in the Associated Press. So I guess this just all went to you-know-what in a handbasket. And now Shohei and his agent are being sued for $240 million. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. Holy cow. Shohei's been in some stuff. I mean, his interpreter with the gambling and all the hundreds of millions missing out of his bank account. Now he's being sued. He came back from an injury, started pitching again, hitting the heck out of the baseball. But there's always something going on with Shohei. Hopefully they come out of there smelling better than right now. All right, we're coming up on 5:50 here on the Sam Burquin Show. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. The text line is open as well at 330-924-7088. We also have the Sam Burquin Show poll question of the day, and it involves Myles Garrett. Your reaction to Myles Garrett in his 8th road violation since being with the Cleveland Browns. A, no big deal. B, an alarming pattern. C, that's not how your leader acts. Or D, the Browns need to address the issue. You can let us know on all of our social media platforms, AM 1310 WDPN. You can also give me a look on Twitter at Sam Burquin16. Same deal on TikTok at Sam Burquin16. 10 minutes left in the show. We'll step away and come back. AM 1310 WDPN.
Grab your trowels and dig into the past at Spring Hill Historic Homes Archaeology Day on Saturday, August 16th from 10 till 4. You can be an archaeologist for the day. Explore 2 active dig sites, sift and screen to reveal artifacts, learn real archaeology techniques, and enjoy family-friendly fun, including a kids station, scavenger hunt, and self-guided tours of the historic home. Uncover hidden history and experience hands-on discovery for all ages. Tickets are $15 for adults and $10 for youth ages 6 through 16. Children 5 and under are free. Come play in the dirt with us at Spring Hill Historic Home, where history is just beneath the surface.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. you each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
This is the Sam Burquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Whoa! Are we leaving? Goodbye, Rip.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not.
Phil, you're
talking,
early.
We started talking, and I stopped doing my job for a second. But that's okay. We're good. We're back.
Phil, you're early. Phil, about 7 minutes yet.
That's what we call the fake out.
That's right. We got you. Please turn your radio back on or click your mouse. We're still here. Don't leave yet. Our poll question on AM 1310 WDPN. Myles Garrett with 8 related incidents, road related. What's your reaction? 33%, not a big deal. 33%, not how a leader acts. We're right down the middle there. Think about that. 33% say it's not a big deal. 33% say that's not how a leader acts. 18% of you say it's an alarming pattern. 15% of you say the Browns should really address the problem. Wow. I don't know what I guess I was expecting on the poll today. This is about what I expected. I'll be honest. I thought about 35 to 40% I thought would say it's not a big deal. Who cares? That's at 33%. I don't know what the Browns are going to do. I don't know how they will address this moving forward. They may have talked to Myles already. I don't know. Not in the building. I don't know.
You'd have to think that somebody pulled him aside and was like, dude, come on. Come on. What are you doing?
Right?
Somebody was, even one of his teammates, like, you're making us look bad. Come on.
At least one person had to have either texted Myles, called him, maybe tapped him on the shoulder in the building and said, hey, come over here a minute. Somebody, you would think somebody would say something. But at this point, Myles Garrett is a grown man. Let's see. Drafted him in 17. It's been 8 years. What is he, 30? Almost 30. Either 1 year on the other side or the other. You probably you shouldn't have to have somebody come up to you and say, hey, Myles, tone it down a little bit. Be a little bit more careful. Be a little bit more cautious. Be a little bit more adhere to the situation. Know the situation. No, we always tell you in sports broadcasting, we talk about the players on the field, on the diamond, on the court. What do you have to know? Know the time and the score. Know the game situation. Myles, know your situation. What's going to happen if he does it again? Like, let's just say, look, the season hasn't even started. And let's say we get into like week 7. Maybe we suffer a really ugly loss, or maybe we pull one out at the end. And we're talking about the Browns Sunday night. We're watching the video clips, the interviews, the highlights. We're getting ready for the show Monday. And then Monday morning, there's a report. Myles Garrett pulled over for speeding again. I mean, you almost know it's going to happen. I hope it doesn't. I hope he learn. Look, if you haven't learned after 7 times, Are you really going to learn? Probably not. You're probably not going to learn.
Well,
and that's the part I just don't get.
Yeah, the car accident really means he's just not going to learn.
I mean, if that didn't change your life, your outlook, I mean, we've all seen that Porsche mangled on the side of the street. 2022. Go back and look at it. Google Myles Garrett crash, 2022 Porsche. Look at that car. If that wasn't a wake-up call, then really, I can't help you. I can't help you. I don't know. I don't know. It just never ends. It really never ends. Guardians coming up tonight. Looking forward to that. Going to be a beautiful night at the ballpark. 6:40 the first pitch. Ryan's favorite pitcher, Jansen Junk, going for the Marlins.
No, I have no idea anything about his pitching skills. This his last name's fun to say.
I bet you watch tonight. You have to watch at least. That's your homework. You have to watch one inning of Jansen Junk pitching for the Marlins tonight.
I'll have to figure out where that's at.
And report back to me.
I'll watch the highlights tomorrow on YouTube.
See, how did Junk do? How do you do? Logan Allen going for the I almost said it again. Going for Cleveland tonight, 6:40. Jansen Junk, by the way, 6-2. Logan Allen, 7-9. Maybe I better not make fun of the name. I think the Guards are a favorite tonight. Let me see.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better, just call him JJ.
You could call him JJ.
Don't even think about the Junk part.
JJ. But then Sam, what's JJ stand for? What is it? There's a lot of JJs out there.
That's going to make you say Junk.
It's going to make me say it.
It's going to make you say it.
Guardians, by the way, minus 125 tonight, so they're a small favorite. Over-under is 8.5 for the Marlins and the Guardians tonight. All right, there's Phil. Now it's time to go. Thanks to Ryan Rainsberg. Great job producing this program again today. Thank you to all the callers, emailers, texters, and commenters on the air and on all of our social media platforms. We certainly do appreciate that as well. And we will do it all over again tomorrow, beginning at 3 right here on AM 1310 WDP. And don't forget, in the meantime, in your mornings, start your day with Rex in the morning, 6 until 10. And John Tesh will be here from 10 until 3. And then we take over the studios beginning just a little bit after 3 o'clock. Don't forget, go Guards, go Cavs, go Browns, go Bucks. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.